Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher, Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to my 77th FlossTube video. As always, thank you to everybody who subscribed, commented, liked my channel. As always, links are listed in the description below the video or wherever it's at on your screen. I also break my videos into chapters. So if there's a certain section you want to watch over again, you can just click on the timestamp next to the name of the chapter, and it will take you directly to that section of the chapter. There's also links to the Morning Glory Needleworks Etsy shop, Instagram page, Stitch of the Month Facebook page, Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, and Buy Me a Coffee in case you want to donate. Your appreciation to my videos and teaching and Stitch of the Month, other things that I do that you like. You don't have to. It's just I appreciate it because I did have some donors last month and I really do appreciate it. So it's the 1st of April, 2025. I got lots of stuff to talk about. Um, yes, I missed the 15th, and I'm also a day late. This is April 2nd. I have a lot going on right now. Some of it's good, some not so good, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm only going to talk about the good stuff, the fun stuff. So if you've been watching my latest videos, you will notice I got my hair cut off. It must be the gray hair, but somehow my hair has gotten wavy over the years. This is new. It's always been really straight. I've had it much shorter than this before, and it's always just been straight. So, my hair had gotten long again and it was driving me crazy. And I noticed it was curling like up under the back of my neck. So I went to see my hairdresser who's been doing my hair since the 90s. So she knows me pretty well. Um, I got brave and I said, I want a tousled bob. And so I could free some of this curliness. She kind of went okay because I don't think she realized how much curl was in there. So she started cutting it, and we were both amazed at how much curl or wave, it's not really curly, it's wavy, popped up. And I love it. It's so much easier to take care of. I had to get some mousse. Who knew there were so many different kinds of mousse and curls, twos and threes and fours. I don't know. I had to look it up because they had different numbers on there. Mine's like a two, which is kind of a wave two. I don't know if it's 2A. I don't know. It was like way too complicated. So I got some mousse and I really like it. It just helps the curls kind of fluff up and it's like so easy to take care of. So anyway, that's my big exciting news. I got my hair cut. So could be worse. On to teaching. If you watched the last video, you will know I was out of town teaching a class last month. I always love teaching for the Indian River chapter of EGA. They are so good to me. They take care of me. They treat me really well. They're a fun group. I know a lot of them. I've taught several of them in other groups, not just Indian River. That's the thing with the stitchers, especially in the same state. You get the same stitchers in different classes in different areas. So it's a lot of fun. So we had a great time. I taught the spool of stitches, so that was great. And as usual, I had to bring my projector, and this time I had to bring a screen because where they had the class, there was no screen or wall available. So this is the first time I've had to bring my own screen since I moved. So of course, I could not find either of the screens I own. They are the old-fashioned metal with the legs that fold out. They're heavy alumina, or I don't know what probably stainless steel. I don't know, but they're heavy and clunky. And I have two of them. I pick them up like at thrift stores and garage sales, that kind of stuff. I looked everywhere in the condo I thought it could be that I could get to. I went to my storage units, and there's so much stuff in there. I didn't want to go in and move stuff around, so I couldn't find them. Yay, me. So I splurged and I bought this wonderful new portable screen from Amazon. If you're interested, I can send you a link, but there's a lot of different styles out there. I had a hard time deciding. Um, there's there's so many now because so many people have projectors and they project outside. They have people in their yard and stuff, and they watch movies. So the one I got actually folds up into a case. It's about this high, this, you know, easily carryable. It will even fit in a suitcase, and it's fairly light. It's not really, I don't know what it weighs, just a few pounds. It was only $40, which is really good. The prices come way down. Of course, they had really expensive ones, but this one worked. It worked great. It's all in pieces, tubes. You just put it together, and then there's a piece of cloth that you unfold. The only thing I didn't like is it's not as high as the other ones. It's more down to the ground, but you just unfold this piece of white polyester or whatever the fabric is. And then they had little Velcro bands on the ends that pull it tight, kind of like when you're stitching with scroll rods and you have those clamps on the side to pull your fabric taut. It's the same idea. So it worked great. I love it. And it's so much more convenient than the other ones because, like I said, I can actually fly with this. I could fit this in a suitcase and it would not add a lot of extra weight. Well, the old ones were really tall and just clunky and just a pain in the butt. So anyway, I'm glad I got it. And it's also good because I'm going to be teaching another class in a few weeks. I'll be teaching the alphabet of stitches for the Canopy Oaks chapter of EGA in Tallahassee. I haven't taught that piece for a few years, so I'm very excited. This was one of the first teaching pieces I created when I started teaching again, and it's the first of my alphabet series. I have so many because I love alphabets and I love stitches. So it's that's the first one, the start. So, I also wanted to mention Crystal River EGA. They always give you a nice little gift, and they gave me this beautiful, besides all the wonderful food and other lunch and dinner and the wonderful accommodations I got put up in. I got this wonderful scissor fob here with the frog. I hope it's a charm to keep the frog away from my stitching. But anyway, so that was my gift from them. I don't expect gifts, so it's always nice and fun. And who doesn't love a beautiful scissor fob? On to the next thing. Here's a little thing I should know better. This is count before you stitch. I've been showing the progress of Sarah Avis, and I finally got to the bottom of the sampler. And as I unrolled the sampler to finish my last section, I have to pick it up. So hold on. Okay, sorry about that. It slid over. But when I finally scrolled down and I got to, this is the last section of the piece, I found out there isn't much linen left. See this? See this? There's no linen wrapped around this. Very, very scary. I always calculate the size to cut the linen several times. And I go over it, like I said, a few times. And I may have cut this wrong, but I don't think I did. I'm going to explain in a minute. There is here, I just wanted to finish. You can see I'm working on the house, which I love, and then there's a vine, and I'll show you the original in a minute. But see this? There's actually another little vine that comes down to about here. And I'm not going to stitch that until I have all of this done. And then I'm going to take it out of the frame because I can't stitch down to here with this big clunky frame on there, scroll rod on there. So, but this is supposed to be 46 count linen. So I did hear it's not always even weave. Unfortunately, this is not even weave. I kind of feel if it's not 46 count both ways, they should say that. So I noticed as I was stitching, like in this section, I didn't notice it earlier, so I don't know if the top section, excuse me, of this linen is more even than this section. I don't know, but it seemed like as I was stitching down here, the stitches started to look oblong, and not a lot, just a little bit. So I don't know. When I take it apart, I'm going to count the top part, but I'm not about to take it all apart until I'm done. So I got out my little linen tester, which I'll show you in a minute. And so I counted the threads, the fabric threads in a couple different spots. So I found out the horizontal threads are 40 to the inch. And the vertical threads are about 46, 44, 45, 46 threads to the inch. That's a huge difference, huge. So from now on, before I cut anything or start stitching, I'm going to start checking in several spots, maybe the top, middle, bottom, and check the thread count before I start stitching. Like I said, I have never had this happen before. I mean, I usually leave quite a bit of room, especially with this frame, because you can see it takes up a lot of fabric, and I usually like to have it wrapped around. You can see it's, wrapped around up there, but I don't know. But the only thing, I was so scared I was not going to be able to finish this. But it should fit barely. I will have about a ½ inch, maybe a little more. So I have here is the original. And this is actually an uneven weave also, but I did not plan to stitch it on an uneven weave. So I am down to here. So you can see I have this little straight part and then this across here, which will have to be stitched after I remove it from the scroll rods. I like working on the scroll frame because it holds my fabric really taut and you don't have to worry about like a hoop denting your threads or anything. This is stitched with DMC, so I could wash it if I wanted to, but you can see I've got the bottom of the house, the stems of these trees, and this section here to finish. And this is all satin stitch. So I don't want to use the hoop on that. Maybe my fence will be a little shorter than Sarah's is, but it doesn't really matter because, I've already stitched down to here. Can you see that? Down to here, and just have this much to go. And obviously she didn't have a lot of fabric either. I thought it was a ribbon, but it's actually a piece of linen, like band, that is on the edge of this, because this runs right to the edge also. Here is the back. she hem stitched this side of it, and you can see where at some point this band around the edge was glued to cardboard or a piece of paper. I don't see any glue in the center, so this was not glued. But anyway, it's kind of disturbing, but I will figure it out. And like I said, I may just put a band or piece of ribbon or something around the outside edge. But obviously, she ran it right to the very edge also. And looks like it was whip stitched. This linen was whip stitched on there. So anyway, oh, I was going to talk about the linen tester. I may start selling these. I have quite a few, and I was putting them in some of my kits, but I get so many requests for them. It comes in a little box. The ones I have, there's all different sizes. If you go online and look for linen testers, it's specifically made to count fabric threads. May not be fabric to cross stitch on, but it may be fabrics to sew with. But it folds all up. I actually have an antique brass one somewhere, vintage, whatever. But it unfolds. So you fold this like that, and this like that, and there you are. This is a magnifier. And if you see inside here, it shows, oops, there we go. This is in, millimeters, and this is in, there's half, it's like inch or 0, and then 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. And what you do is you would lay this on the fabric, on your fabric, line it up with one thread on your linen that put the 0 on one thread. You look through this magnifier, it's like a 5 times magnifier. You can get stronger ones or bigger ones that aren't as strong. I use it with my glasses. And then you count every thread to a 1/2 inch and then multiply by 2. So when I counted that piece of linen, I counted to a 1/2 inch on I think it was the horizontals, and it was 20. So that means it's 40 threads to the inch. To me, you can use a ruler. There are rulers with thread counts or whatever on them. I find this to be more exact. It just depends on how exact you need to be. But I carry one of these with me when I go to antique shows, so I can look closely at, I use it for jewelry or other things. I also have magnifiers that clip on my glasses, but I do use it if I'm looking at samplers to get right down on top of them and see if they use different stitches or what the thread count is or any of that kind of information. But like I said, this is it's a linen tester, and you can see the little magnifier here, and you have to put your eye like right on top of it. Don't try and look from here. You need, from far away. I put my eye right on top of it to use it. And then it just folds back up. And I carry one in my sewing kit, and I have them all over the place because I lose them, and then I have a whole case of here, so I'll go get another one. But I think I'm gonna start bringing them and selling them at retreats. So anyway, that's what I have to say about that. Just be sure you lost my place here. Be sure you measure correctly. Like I said, count your threads, all that good stuff. Just especially when you're working with something that fine. Like I said, I have never had that happen before, so I'm kind of in shock and very lucky that I think I can work this out. I had thought about even just leaving off the bottom section of this, or just I was ready to just not even stitch it and just use the cover, use the picture of the original on the cover of the pattern because this is going to be released. So, and I will put a warning in there about if you're using 46 count linen, be sure you check your threads to make sure it's really 46 count linen. So that's enough of that. Enough of my headache here. So it's the 1st of April, and that means we have a new stitch of the month. So this month we're going to be stitching triangle stitch. And I believe it's called that way because each section of this stitch forms a triangle. It's a pretty simple stitch, famous last words, I know. But it's just 5 stitches going each direction, 1 over 2, 3, 4 threads, 3, 2 threads. Very simple. I'm going to have you can't see it because I did it in pink. It's very light on there, but it is on there where the placement of it, this will be, sorry, in the Stitch of the Month Facebook group. You just barely see it. I will show it with the camera so you can see it better because I did it in the 4102 Silky, which is, it's called Spring Garden. I think it's very light, pretty colors. So what I'm going to do my PowerPoint and show you that real quick. And then I'm going to demonstrate the stitch for you so you can see how easy it is. And I'm hoping you can use it in some of your stitching. It works great in band samplers, but it would also be fun to use like for a walkway, like a decorative walkway, a roof, something like that. So hold on and let me set up to show you the PowerPoint. All right, so you can see here, this is a triangle stitch. So on the bottom left, you can kind of see how it is on the pattern itself. Like I said, it's charted in pink, so it's very pastel pink. It's hard to see. I didn't even number this stitch because you can start on any side. You need to start with the smallest stitch first. Well, you don't need to, but I would recommend. So I start on the left side with the first horizontal stitch on the left side of the stitch. And you come up at this end, you can see the direction of your arrow and you go down in the next hole. So it's over 2 threads. The next stitch is over 3 threads. The next stitch is over 4 threads. And then you do the 3 and 2 again. Then your next stitch, your next triangle section, you count down 2 threads from the bottom of the last stitch and 2 threads to the right and go up again over 2 threads. And you can see it shares a hole with the horizontal stitch. So all the stitches share holes. And then you do so that's over 2, then you do over 3, over 4, 3, 2, turn the corner again and work your way around. Then when you go to the next stitch, you're going to start up in the corner again, the upper left corner, and it will share holes. These stitches touch and they're going to share holes across the row. So it'll be a solid row. So let me pull up the canvas that I used, my little camera, and I will demonstrate this stitch for you. Okay, well, I almost hit the wrong button on that one. So I'm going to go over here to my little camera and demonstrate this stitch for you. Figure out where I'm at. Here we are. So I'm going to come up here. That would be the horizontal stitch on the left. I'm going to move this down. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit. Okay. So I've come up at the left-hand top horizontal stitch, and I'm just going to go straight across over 2 threads. So that's the first step. Then the next stitch is going to go over 3 threads. The next step is going to go over 4 threads. So each step you can see gets 1 thread wider. This looks really big. Yours will be more solid. It will not be that far apart. Now the next one's going to be over 3 threads again, and then 2 threads. So there's your first triangle. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually just going to go down 2 holes or 2 threads from where you went down, and we're going to start doing vertical stitches. So that's over 2, then over 3, and you can see how it's sharing holes. Over 4, and then 3 and 2. So you just continue around the stitch. Oops. Continue working your way around. So there's that vertical section. And you can see how the stitches work together. So now I'm going to do the horizontal on the other side. Okay, so that was over 2 and 3. This stitch is over 4. And then over 3. And over, oops, I'm up in the right hole. It makes it better. That's over 2. Then we're going to work the last vertical section. Over 2 threads. Oops, keep getting my long thread caught here. That's over 3. Go. Last long stitch. So you can see it's going to give nice coverage. Of course, like I said, yours will be denser because this is, I don't know what count this is. It may be 14 count canvas, I'm not sure. And then cotton, crochet cotton. So that is 1 stitch. This is a very pretty stitch. And that's why I like to do it in the overdyed, or as Sulky is called, the blendables, because you can really see the color changing. So now I'm going to start the next stitch, and all these are going to share holes. So I'm going to go over 2, over 3, over 4, and just continue around the stitch. So that's how that works. I can find mine here. This is mine, and hopefully you'll be able to see the stitches better. There, you can see the I love how the colors change. Isn't that pretty? And that's why I did it in this color. You can use whatever colors you want. So that's it for that stitch. Again, these the stitch diagrams will be available in PDF for you to download. This, and then the little stitch of the month sampler that I designed. You can stitch it however you want. I'm using a big piece of 28 count linen that I found. A scrap I picked up somewhere just because I thought it'd be fun to have. And I'm just doing all of mine in a row, 2022, 23, 24. And now I have started 2025 on this same piece of 28 count linen. You can use whatever count you want. So that's it for FlossTube 77. Thank you again. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry I was so far behind. I have a lot of stuff going on right now. So I'm trying to fit everything in. I'm getting ready to teach. I just got over teaching. I'm actually headed to another retreat this coming weekend, which I'm going to be vending. So I'm looking forward to just seeing everybody and people I haven't seen for quite a while in the Sun Region, EGA, the whole Sun Region. It's their yearly retreat. So if you come to that, be sure to stop by and say hi. And so again, that's it for FlossTube 77 as I rattle on. Thanks as always to everybody who liked and subscribed. who comments on my videos. So I try to go look at all and reply to all the comments. I don't always get notified when a comment comes up. So I'm not ignoring you. Be sure to subscribe to be notified when my next video is posted. They should be on the 15th and 1st of the month, or the 1st and the 15th of the month. Obviously, that doesn't always work out, but I try. So all the links are posted, and I will see you on the 15th of April. Wow. So anyway, thanks again, and stitch on.